Good morning and welcome to your 45-minute deep stretch class. My name is Mallory and I'm excited to lead you today. Do we have any special requests? Hips, back, spine, everything? Everything. Sounds good. Let's start out on our backs in butterfly pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. And we'll take a few moments to just arrive on the mat, acknowledging everything going on outside of these four walls, everything happening with the holidays, with this weird week between Christmas and New Year's, and starting to turn our attention inward to what's happening right now in your body, in your mind, and in your heart. Tune in to your breath, that gentle inhale and exhale. And notice any part of your body that's moving with your breath, maybe your belly or your chest. And allow your breath to be an anchor that helps bring you back to right here and right now. And next, bring your attention to your arms, lying heavy and at ease, either at your sides or somewhere on your body. Maybe noticing from the top of the shoulder all the way down to the fingertips. And notice any tension that you're holding in your arms. And on your next exhale, see if you could allow your arms to release maybe 1% of the tension that they're holding. And now bring your attention to your lower body. And notice anywhere that your body is making contact with the ground. Maybe your hips on the ground or the edges of your feet. And notice any sensations that you feel in your lower body. And next, we're going to bring our attention to the mind. Just checking in with the state of the mind, just like we look at the weather. Does your mind feel busy or rushed or anxious or tired or relaxed? Just noticing what's happening right now and right here. And let's take a full breath in together, inhaling through the nose, exhaling out. Let's do that again. Big inhale. If there's anything you need to release, you might sigh it out. And one more time, inhaling and exhaling. If you'd like, you can cross your hands over your chest and maybe start to bring in a gentle massage to your neck and shoulders, or gentle movement, maybe turning head side to side, or bringing the knees together and hugging the knees to the chest. Maybe this is the moment where, after you've checked in and noticed some sensations, you want to take some action on what you were feeling in your body. Maybe a gentle twist or maybe a squeeze. Somewhere that you're holding tension, you might move into that. Really taking your time and allowing yourself that space to just check in with the whole body. We'll take a few more breaths to complete any movements that are needed or wanted. And then we'll come to rest lying on one side. You can pick which side feels better to you. And we'll just pull the knees into the chest and make a little pillow with the head. or for the head. And you might just notice your body breathing right here. You might take a moment to just check in with self and why you decided to show up today and roll out your mat. And we'll take a moment to set an intention for practice. An intention is just a way that we want to show up right now. So it might be self-love. It might be connection. It might be slowing things down. And take a moment to just settle in and notice what might come up for you. And if you don't have an intention, I'll offer mine for today, and it's to listen, to tune into self and to listen and receive the messages that your body's giving you. When you're ready, come up to a comfortable seat. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like to, or you can open your eyes and find a soft gaze. And we're gonna start with a seated cat-cow. So on our inhale, we're gonna really lengthen up through the whole spine, press down into the foundation. And on the exhale, we're gonna round the spine. So the tailbone's gonna tuck under. We're gonna think of sending the mid-back behind you and maybe letting the chin drop to your chest. On the inhale, we're gonna come forward and reverse that, bringing the chest forward. You might look up as we arch the lower back. And we'll repeat that on your own breath. So exhaling, coming into, this is cat pose. And inhale, pulling through, coming into cow pose. Moving gently, you might notice some Rice Krispies, the snap, crackle, and pop that happens as we move tight tissue through a new range of motion. If you feel anything today that doesn't feel good for you, I welcome you to try something different or to wave me down and I'll come help you. Let's take another round of breath and then we'll meet in a strong, powerful seat. Noticing your body rooting into the ground, grounding down like earth into our lower body, and then creating space through the spine. Let's raise both arms up over the head and reach up. Big inhale, exhale, arms come back down to the sides. And again, big inhale and reach. Big exhale and release. And one more time. Inhale and reach. Try to reach your fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. And exhale, release. We're gonna take the right arm long to your side and tent the hand, just like you're trying to cover up a treat or something really precious. And we're gonna inhale and lengthen through the spine. And on the exhale, let your ear drop down. You might feel a lot of sensation in the right side of your neck. And you're welcome to take movement here if that feels good, where you inhale and come up a bit, and exhale, drop back down. If you'd like more sensation, just add the weight of your other hand on top of the side of the head. And keep lifting up through the spine as you exhale and drop into this next stretch. And your next exhale, we're gonna turn and look down towards the left armpit, and then gently come up through center. If you'd like to take any shoulder rolls or movement to release any tension, feel free to do that. And we're gonna take the other hand out to the side and make that little tent, really pressing down into all of the fingertips and lifting up through the spine and letting the head drop to the other side. You want to make sure that the nose is pointing straight forward. Often it'll drop down or even lift up to kind of get around this lateral neck stretch. And you can add the weight of your right hand if that feels good for you. You might notice that this side feels a little bit different than the other side. And know that that's normal. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, you can release your hand and turn your head to look down at the right armpit. And then gently come back to center. We're going to bring both hands behind the body. Your fingers can point away or towards your hips. And we're going to just lift the chest up to the ceiling. Imagine that you're pulling your shoulder blades together toward your spine, and that helps you to lift up. You might feel a stretch in the front of your body. And if it feels good and if you'd like to, you could let your head go back. One more breath here. Exhale, release, and bring your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Inhale and lengthen through your whole spine. It's pretty common to sink into, so we're gonna lift up and let the knees just gently drop side to side, starting to warm up our hips in internal and external rotation. So if your knees are bent to about 90 degrees, you'll feel a little deeper stretch in the hips. If your legs are longer, you're gonna feel a little bit less sensation. We'll take one more round of breath here. And then we'll come to all fours. So as we move here, we wanna really be intentional in setting up this physical foundation. So we're gonna have our hands spread wide like starfish, and place the hands under the chest. And you can play with the width of your stance here. Sometimes going wide feels better than going really narrow. It can help give more access into the shoulder. And then knees are set up under the hips. And we're gonna pull the belly button toward the spine to help support the low back. And gently bring the chin down. That'll help us keep our spines nice and long. We're gonna take a cat-cow here. So on the inhale, we arch the whole back. And on the exhale, we're gonna round the entire spine. Inhale, coming back to our cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Let's take one more round here. Noticing your spine moving, noticing the tissue adjusting. And we'll come back to neutral spine and root down into both knees, both tops of the feet and the left hand. And we're gonna float the right hand up. And exhale, come to thread the needle. So we're gonna reach between the left side. And you have an option to stay here, or if you need movement this morning, you can inhale and lift up. And exhale and thread the needle. And you can take as many rounds as you need to work out some of those Monday morning movements. And if you're holding, breathe into the sides of your body. And notice the support of the ground beneath your right shoulder. And bring space into the left side of the body. If your mind starts to wander as we are suddenly slowing down, you might come back to the intention that you created at the beginning of class. On your next breath in, bring your awareness to your left hand. Spread the fingers wide and start to bring your hand underneath the left shoulder. We're going to press down into the left hand to lift up and reach the right hand up to the ceiling one more time. And exhale, come back to neutral. We're going to take a child's pose next. So we're going to bring the big toes to touch, and the knees can either stay narrow right under the hips or they can come out wide to begin to open into the hips. We're going to stretch the arms out to the front of the mat. And come back to noticing the body breathing. You might feel different sensations here as we have pressure on the belly. You might notice more movement in your thoracic spine, or that it's a little more difficult to breathe here. And we're going to take a side body stretch here. So keeping the left hip rooted back, we're going to start to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat, really lengthening through the left side body. Take another full breath here. And on your exhale, gently walking back to center. If you'd like to look towards your thumbs and press back to reset, feel free. We're going to send the right hip back and start to walk the hands over towards the left side of the mat. Allow your head to be heavy. Allow your jaw to release. And if that's difficult to do this morning, send yourself some compassion. It's really hard to suddenly slow down and be present. Take a moment to release a little heavier or to go a little deeper. And then gently come back to center. If there are any movements you need here, feel free to take them. You might be wiggling the fingers or bringing your palms together and bringing the palms behind the head for a shoulder stretch. And then start to create your foundation and come back to all fours. Pressing down into all of your fingers and into your first knuckle. That's the knuckle of your pointer finger. Pressing down through the tops of the feet, pulling into the core. If cat-cow feels good here, we can take a few cat-cow movements. If you need to wiggle fingers and toes, or take a downward facing dog, you're welcome to go there. And then when you're ready, we'll come to thread the needle on the other side. We'll lift the left hand up, really rooting down into the right hand, and exhale and thread through. And you You can take breath with movement here, inhaling to lift up, exhaling to twist. Or you can hold for this yummy stretch, bringing the left ear towards the mat. And just taking a moment to notice what's happening right now, any sensations that you feel, any sounds that you hear, any scents that you smell. Anything that you see. And even any taste that might be lingering. Take a full breath in, present to what's happening right now, and exhale and gently release from your twist. Root down into the right hand and lift the left hand up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring the hand back down. We're gonna take the left hand and turn the pinky, what direction is that? Counterclockwise to face towards the leg. And we're gonna send the left heel back, tucking the toes underneath and dropping the heel towards the back of the room. So you might feel a big stretch in your forearm and in your calf. If you want more sensation, you'll send your hips back more. And if you need less sensation in the forearm, you can walk your hand closer to your left leg. Take one more breath here. And on the exhale, we'll release the left hand. And we're gonna take the left leg out to the side. So we're trying to plant the left foot down so that all four corners of the foot press down and bring the heart forward. From here, we have an option to drop the hips back towards the heel. If this doesn't agree with your knees, then you can stay up and just come down to your forearms. If you'd like to take a combination, you can drop the hips back and pull forward. We'll take an option for a twist, taking the right hand towards the left foot. Maybe the right shoulder comes down. The left arm can reach up to the ceiling, over the head, or behind the back to a bind. Take a couple more breaths to melt into whatever variation feels best for you today. On your exhale, bring your left hand back underneath the shoulder and press into that hand. Take some circles with your left knee to bring some movement into your hip joint. And then reverse the circles. You could take them fast or slow, big or small. And then we'll take the left knee and plant the foot in between the hands at the front of the mat. And start to just sink into this low runner's lunge. Your right knee can rest on the ground, or for a little more challenge, you can straighten the leg, really hugging the muscles to the thigh. You might send your hips side to side or forward and back as we ease into this stretch. We're going to come into half split. We're going to send the hips back. Hips come over the right knee and the front foot flexes. You might wave your foot side to side to find different hamstring tissues. You might hold. A more active stretch is going to be hugging the leg muscles away from your kneecap, so engaging your quads and pulling your heart forward. A more restorative half split is going to be to fold your upper body over the extended leg, letting the head go. Take one more breath here. And a big exhale, bend into your left knee again. Coming into your version of crescent lunge. So your knee can be down or up. We're gonna bring the hands to heart center or reach your arms up. You could also take a bind behind your back. Take a full inhale. And a big exhale. Release your hands back to the inside of your left leg. We're gonna move into lizard pose. So we're gonna walk the left foot out to the edge of the mat and send the hips forward. From here, we can turn the left foot out at a diagonal and come up onto the outside edge of the foot, sending the knee away from the center of the body. You can press down into your right hand and take your left hand to the inside of the thigh to increase the stretch, and think of really pulling your chest forward. You also have the option to come down to your forearms. Really finding a place, a body shape that feels good for you. It gives you what you need today. And as we work into our hips, it's really normal for thoughts and emotions and old stories to come up. And a tool here is to come back to the intention that you created at the beginning of our time together. Take one more deep breath in. And a big exhale out, and release your front leg. You can come to downward facing dog or child's pose. You can move through a vinyasa if that's your style today. And take a moment to thank the left side of your body for showing up so strong for you this morning. Take a big, deep breath in and a big exhale out. And come back to all fours. We're going to turn the right hand so that clockwise, so that the fingertips point back towards the leg. And we're going to send the right foot back, tucking the toes under, drop the heels back, warming up our calf, Stretching the forearm, the wrist flexors. And taking any movement that feels good for you right here. And we'll go ahead and plant the right hand back in place, fingers pointing forward, and take the right leg out to the side. And it might feel good to rock forward and back a bit. It might help to take your arm to bring the leg out to the side. And then really root down through all four corners of the foot and send the hips back towards the left heel. You can come down to your forearms. You might even rest your head in your hands to give your head a little support. Notice how your body's responding to this stretch. Your breath might increase. You might experience tension in your shoulders or your jaw. And if you'd like to take the twist, we're going to press down into the right hand and reach the left hand towards the right foot. Maybe letting the left shoulder come down to the mat. Taking a deep breath in and a full breath out. If you'd like to make this more active, you can press down into the right hand and reach for the left foot, kind of playing with that torso rotation. And then bring the right hand under the shoulder and press up. Take some circles here with the right knee. And go the opposite direction. And then pull the pit of the belly to the backbone and bring the right foot in between the hands. Hips can gently move side to side or forward and back. Giving this side the same patience and attention that we gave the first side. Sometimes when I move into the second side, I'm like, oh no, I know what's coming. So if your mind is giving you some feedback today, try to come back to your breath or what's happening right now in this side. Take a big breath in, root down into your foundation. Exhale, send your hips back, pull your right toes toward your shin, coming into our half split. Take a deep breath in. A full exhale out and bend into the front knee again, coming up into your crescent lunge. You might choose a different variation for your arms on this side. Then we'll come into lizard, bringing both hands to the inside of the right foot, taking the right foot to the edge of the mat, and giving yourself a moment here, hugging the right knee into the arm, pulling the heart forward, and then turning the foot out at a diagonal, maybe coming onto the knife edge of that foot. Take a full deep breath in and a big exhale out, letting something go, physical or mental or emotional. One more full inhale. And big exhale. Bring your right foot to meet the left. Tuck your toes underneath and start to send your hips back to your heels. We're going to stretch our plantar fascia on the soles of our feet. So you can just send your weight back, or you might come to a kneeling position. It's going to intensify the stretch. Bring your attention inward again and just check in with yourself, just like we did at the beginning of class. What sensations do you feel in your body? What's the state of your mind? And can you notice your body breathing right here? Take a deep breath in and a slow exhale out. Come back to all fours. If you'd like to tap the tops of your feet on the floor, you're welcome to. And then we're going to press up into downward facing dog, really setting up our foundation again. Spreading into the hands, pressing into all of the fingers, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up into that inverted V. And we're going to walk the hands back to the feet. You can bring your feet wide to the edges of your mat, or you can keep your stance narrow. I'm going to take ragdoll here. You can grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Or you could take a gentle twist, letting your left hand come to the center and reaching your right hand up. We're going to turn the toes out to the edges of the room and drop the hips down for yogi squat, bringing hands to the insides of the thighs and really lift your chest. It's easy to sink and compress. Think of pressing down to lift up, press together to lift up. Full deep breath in, big exhale out. Bring your right hand down and your left hand up. And return to center and switch sides. And return to center. Take any final movements you need. If you want to come back to ragdoll, or if you want to sit all the way down, you can. We're going to make our way to our backs next, however you would like to get there. And when you get to your back, take a moment to just check in again. Any sensations that you feel, any thoughts or feelings that are coming up. To feel more grounded, you might hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side. To feel more present, you might bring the knees together and rest your hands on your body. To work out any final energy before Shavasana, take a couple moments to just move in a way that feels good for you. And then when you're ready, make your way to the most comfortable, supportive, and restful Shavasana shape that you can create. Sending the legs out long, letting your pinky toes drop out to the sides. Take a full breath into your upper body. And as you exhale, let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Turn your palms up to the ceiling and let your eyes close or find a soft gaze. Shavasana. Take a full breath in and a slow exhale out. And start to bring gentle movement into your body. Maybe starting with the fingers and toes, or moving into larger movements like bending the knees, hugging into chest, or reaching the arms overhead in a good morning stretch. Notice any sensations that you feel in your body, any sounds in this room or outside this room. Roll onto one side. Taking one more moment to just go in, to check in with self. Maybe to come back to that intention. If you've forgotten it, you can borrow mine It was to be in the listening to what your body's telling you today. Thank you for taking time for yourself and showing up to care for yourself through yoga, and by caring for yourself, caring for those that you love. Press up to a strong, powerful seat. Really create the foundation beneath you, and bring your hands to prayer at heart center. And let's close with a deep breath in together. And a big exhale out. Bring your thumb knuckles to forehead center and tap in. The light, the listening within me honors the light and the listening within you. Namaste.